All right, well, hello everyone, and hello to YouTube. You are currently watching. I'm doing this on stream, but it is an early stream, so I wanted to record it, and I think this would be good value for you guys on YouTube as well. We're going to do a nice big coaching segment here on the stream. And again, your feedback is always really welcome. If you guys really enjoy it, if you want to see more, make sure to give the video a like. Let me know in the comments, etc. I know from doing these in the past, I always thought that these were really good videos, and I thought they could be really helpful. They wouldn't always get as many views, for example, as just a normal game, but there you go. I've got 3 games, though, for you here today to coach you through. The first 2 are from Cardo. And I'll read out a little segment of each of the emails, just to give you guys an idea of what's happening. And then the third game is from Storm Scion. So, we'll dive into Cardo's game first. He's got a Valla game, and he has a Thrall game. And just to cover just a couple of little quick things from his message, so you know his situation, broadly speaking. I find it very fun. I love the intro to the email. It just said good morning, or whatever appropriately timed salutation is applicable, I suppose. That actually made me laugh a lot. I always say good morning. Like, for me as a streamer, right, my time is so weird, because I live in Ireland. So it's quite awkward for me to stream at the best time. Like, the best time realistically for me is in the evening, because then you catch Europe in the evening, and you then catch America, which is the biggest viewer base, of course, in their sort of early afternoon. But what have you, I usually stream a bit earlier just because it's a bit more practical. But anyway, so I always say good morning. Like, I started the stream today saying good morning, even though it's 2 p.m. It's for me. My time cycle is later than most people. But anyway. But he saw some of the older videos I did on YouTube for coaching, so he's interested in seeing some of that. He says he's a pretty casual HOTS player, spends most of his time playing with his wife and some friends in Quick Match, but his competitive nature yearns for more, and he's recently started doing some ranked games. He's currently in Silver, which is a bit of a bummer, he says, and he feels like he can do better and is eager to try. He recalls mentioning a few times that Valla is my most played hero, and coincidentally, she's his as well. And yeah, that's basically that. And he did sub to the channel as well, which was very much appreciated. Obviously, I think what I'll probably be doing, because I haven't done one of these replays in a long time, but I think what we'll do, and let's load it up as well. What we'll do is, for people that sub to the channel, like with your sub message, if you want to get a replay done or something, we can do that. I really enjoy doing replays, and I think you guys enjoy watching them. So just hide that. So I think that's probably the best way to do it. And then, yeah, P is the pause and the stop. El Chapo. All right, cool. Let's grab the Valla here. And if we press W, we go into her view. Awesome. Gonna throw in a quick pause. And I broke it already. Okay, that might fix it. Yeah, that should fix it. Okay, let me just tab out. Good. Now we don't break it. Don't break the camera lock. Hey, Fast Cookie, how you doing? Installed wireless speakers today. Oh, dude, that's awesome. And just before I dive into this replay, Golden Lunatic asking, hi, any news about when our boy Deathwing's going to be on the public test realm, the PTR? He's going to be out, they said next week, on the test realm, so it should be next Monday. Hopefully. It's pretty delayed already, I'm not gonna lie. But there you go. In my opinion, he should be on the test realm minimum a week after they reveal him, but what have you. So it should be next week. I will, of course, cover it as soon as it's live, so stay tuned here on the channel. I'll, literally as soon as possible when he hits test realm, I'll bring you guys a video. And then he should be on live servers a week after that, and we're just going to stream and play Deathwing and Ranked all day. As much as we can. So yeah, we'll do that. All right, cool. Let's dive into this game. All right, so we're looking at Valla. It's a silver level game. That's totally fine. And we're looking at Infernal Shrines. So first of all, Valla is good on Infernal Shrines. You obviously have to be a bit careful for flanks and whatnot, but she brings good shrine clear, good wave clear. Valla is one of the best range damage dealers in the game right now. She even got buffed, like her health got a bit buffed in the semi-distant past, I suppose, at this point, which made her a lot more playable. She used to be very squishy, very vulnerable. We also have, you know, a lot of the dive heroes got nerfed, stuff like that, so like Genji doesn't really exist much anymore. So she's a great solid pick, and one that's well worth picking up. Though she is quite fast, and maybe a little bit more difficult to play than, let's say, for example, something like a Raynor, which will have a similar effect, trading wave clear for more single target damage, I guess, and a bit more focus. But yeah, one nice thing that Valla does, of course, as well, is she brings a stun. Not many ranged assassins have a stun. Valla gets one with up to 2 charges, which is phenomenally useful. Gives her interrupts on important things like mosh pits. In this game, not too much that's important to interrupt. It can lock down people, stop their escape, things like that. For example, you could interrupt Orphea if she's overextended, if she mispositioned. You could potentially interrupt a Muradin leap away if you're lucky, that sort of thing. But that's quite useful. Okay, can I see their different talent tiers? Oh, I can. Awesome. Let me just talk about the talents really quick here as well. In my opinion, there's 2 main builds to go for with Valla. You have the Q build, which takes Monster Hunter, lowering the mana cost, increasing damage to basically all PvE objectives. Puncturing Arrow, a quest to hit heroes, which increases the damage, and then gives it even more bonus damage and an additional bounce when you finish the quest. Repeating Arrow, which resets Hungering Arrow when you vault. You usually take Rain of Vengeance, no matter what. Then with the Arrow build, Siphoning Arrow heals you for damage dealt by the arrow. Level 16, then you probably just take Manticore. Every 3rd basic attack, doing 5% max HP damage. It's phenomenal talent. And then at level 20, again, it's pretty flexible. Fireflight Quiver is usually the most reliable thing to get the most attacks off as possible and proc that Manticore. But yeah, so that's the Q build. I'd say the Q build is good for one-on-one duels. It's, you know, again, it'd be more so if they have strong dive heroes, it's good against that. It's very good against smaller merc camps and maps with individual monsters. I think a great example would be Battlefield of Eternity. The Q build's going to be really good. It'll give you a lot of damage against the Immortal. It'll give you a lot of dueling and burst damage, single target sort of burst damage in team fights, especially if you're Dovan. So yeah, it's pretty nice for that. Now on Infernal Shrines, not so useful. Not so useful at all. You're more likely to go for the other main build, which is Hot Pursuit, giving you 20% move speed instead of 10%. With max stacks of hatred. So 20%, having 20% move speed that's a lot of move speed. That gives you so much flexibility. It's not quite as fast as a mount. A mount is 30%, but I mean, it's not far off. So it gives you a lot of flexibility for kiting around heroes. It gives you a lot of flexibility for dodging skill shots. It's very powerful. The Mana Restore is really good as well. Keeps you going. And then with that, you're going to combo Punishment. So your stacks of hatred increasing damage with multi-shot. It's not too much to say about this. It's just a damage increase, and you don't really need to think about it all that much, to be honest with you. I mean, you can build up high stacks of hatred and delay it a little bit, but it's really not particularly important. Just when you go in a minion wave, and you're only going to hit the minion wave with 1 multi-shot, because the cooldown is long, excuse me. You want to build up some hatred before you fire the multi-shot off. It's a minor thing. Then you're going to grab Arsenal. Multi-shot fires 3 grenades, which do damage. Each enemy hero hit by a grenade reduces the cooldown of multi-shot. So it's just extra damage. And it gives you even more multi-shots, which is a lot more damage in the team fight. So that's just a really nice way to do it. And again, the Mana Restore gives you the mana to spam that a bit more. Again, usually Rain of Vengeance. Then you can go for one of these 2. Tempered by Discipline is okay. A little bit of extra healing. Gloom is really strong, but it's very specific. So it just passively gives you 20 spell armor, which is really, really good. And then you can consume all hatred to gain more spell armor. So if you're worried about being nuked by spells, this is a really good one to pick up. I'd say in this game, you're probably relatively safe. Like with the move speed, you could probably play around Hanzo. You could probably play around an Orphea. You're not too worried about spell damage, but Gloom is very good. Then you usually just take Manticore. And then, again, you usually just take Fireflight Quiver. They're usually the ones to go for. So, yeah, I've already broken the camera a bit. So, there you go. There's sort of the 2 sort of idea of builds on Valla. You can do other builds. There's other ways you can mix it up a little bit, but they're the typical ones that you're going to be doing. Let me fix the camera and hit play, and let's go. Okay, cool. Big introduction. Talk about Valla. Over and done. Now, in terms of the map and what you're going to be trying to do, this is a very solid team comp. Very, very standard team comp here. You probably have Chambi focusing on the solo lane, and you rotate, and yeah, you guys should be rotating between mid lane and bot lane. Now, of course, this is silver, so we don't really expect people to be good at rotating and understanding that. Tight toy. I like it. I like tight things. Yeah, no, rotating between mid and bot is great. And then you want to be going to that camp fairly early. Now, of course, that's difficult to do, but, you know, it's difficult to organize your team to do that. But for Valla, as a range damage dealer, that is one of your priorities. Okay, so you're going to be going towards the top lane here. Again, this is an interesting one. So Chen top. So I think that you've misunderstood which lane is the solo lane here. That's one thing I instantly say if I pause real fast. So she's saying Chen top, and we'll rotate. And then you're saying that you were thinking that Chen was solo laning. Chen, the solo lane is top lane. The reason that the solo lane is top lane is because it's the one that's furthest away, basically. It's quite easy to rotate between these two. Obviously, you can see just on the map visually, at a quick glance, that top lane is much further away. So it's very far away. It takes time to get there. Also, whereas we got Merc camps that are quite easy to contest here, these Merc camps up here are very difficult to contest. You're also going to be taking these earlier in the game because they're a lot easier to take than the Shaman or Shaman. So yeah, that's why you normally will rotate as 4 between these. It's easier to take these camps and to fight around it. And then you usually want to sync this up a bit more with the objective. It's a bit different because the objective is top lane. So you want to set this up as like a split push, but obviously it's not a split push if everyone's up there doing the objective anyway. So you can kind of take the Shaman a bit earlier, just use it for some map control for the initial fights on the point. But yeah, that's something to watch out for. I think it's good to see that once you basically clear the minion wave, you were looking to rotate and grab the XP. That's correct. I think it'd be, you know, and it's silver, so we don't really worry about it too much, but just to be aware of. That's really good damage on the Orphea. Good to hit her with the Q. Great kill. Orphea overextends. Good punish by Diablo. Good patience by you, making sure to hit your Q and whatnot. So that's really nice to see. Okay, and here we're doing good damage to the Arthas again. Good accuracy, good damage. I'm feeling very good about this. This is a really solid minion wave you got pushing in. Okay, I would say right here, I think that you've made a mistake here. In the sense that, okay, so let's look at the map situation. So you killed Orphea. Orphea's respawned, and yes, Orphea's probably coming back up. You just beat the absolute shit out of Arthas. Arthas is really low on life. He's probably going to go tap, and he's feeling a bit rough. You can see Hanzo's in mid, and Muradin and Ana are in bot lane. You have a pretty substantial minion wave here because you just won these 2 fights while pushing in the wave. You also have Diablo with you. I'd say at this point, the most valuable thing you can do is actually just stay here with this minion wave and nuke it down, start blasting it. Again, as the Valla, with 20% move speed, sorry, you don't have the talent. But with 10% move speed, I guess, you can easily dodge away from anything Orphea's gonna do. Yeah, Arthas might root you, but you can just vault out and you'll be totally fine. So there's very little threat. You also have a Diablo who can assist you. You're feeling very safe. It would be great to get damage on these towers, especially seeing as the first objective is here. Any damage that you do makes that a lot easier. And also, if you can see that there's nowhere really for you to go, there's nothing really for you to do except come back bot lane. I think it would have been better if I take the camera up. You can see Diablo, he's a little bit deep, but you could have stayed up here, fought that stuff. You could see if you were still there, Arthas really wouldn't be able to come out because you just kill him. You've been able to stay up there, keep the damage going, and then once the minion wave has been reset by these towers, once they're all dead and it's just back to a normal minion wave here, then you could be like, then you could, you know, make your way down to the you know, 4-man rotation in theory. Yeah, so there you go. Okay, so you can see that, you know, in terms of map movement in early game is very important. We kind of wasted a bunch of time. Nice to come back. A little unfortunate we didn't kill them, but it doesn't actually matter too much. They're both very low. So Arthas is actually only tapped now. Greedy boy. They can keep the pressure going. We have gone for Caltrops in this game. So dropping Caltrops when you vault, which slows enemies. Reduces vault cooldown, halves the mana cost. I know it was bugged. It's probably fixed now. I mean, Caltrops, it's okay. I think the other one is a lot better. You can vault away and we're totally fine. Alright, cool. So it's a fairly standard lane. Again, I would say, considering we're in silver, right, we're not too worried about the whole ideal lanes and lane rotations. Like, that's not a big concern. It's not something that's going to keep you up at night, right? Or it shouldn't be. I'd say the only main thing I'd point out here, again, was that idea. I think it is the only important thing to look at so far, is that idea of, like, okay, understand where heroes are on the map and how you force them back. Understand the size of your minion wave and the strength of your hero against theirs. And be like, oh, hang on. Also, top objective. Shit, if I push down these towers, Man, I could potentially destroy these towers and it would be great. Worth firing your Q with the Arthas. Okay, right there. It's worth firing your Q with the Arthas to dismount him. Take some pressure off you. If you dismount him earlier, the closer he gets to you on that mount, the harder it is to dodge with the vault. So it's actually maybe counterintuitive, maybe? But firing the Q at him actually is very safe. You can see just how much pressure that Valla's able to put on. It's one of the real strengths of Valla, especially when you've got the support of a healer. She can be abusive early game. Like, people can really struggle to actually lock her down. So you're getting punished here. Okay, he missed, but you're getting punished there a bit for using that vault cooldown when you could have just sidestepped the Orphea thing. Also, don't be too scared to walk forwards into things. That's okay as well. Arthas super dead. Nice one. Good little bit of aggression there as well. Back up, no Chen, no fight. I don't think that's important either. Ironically, on okay, this is good damage. Your team is split and focused. I'll talk about this in a second. So there's quite a lot going on here. Good sidestep there. Again, it'd be nice to use the Q to punish that Orphea. A bit of extra damage is always good. Let's just talk about this. Back up, no Chen, no fight. Oftentimes on Infernal Shrines, oftentimes on many maps, it can be more valuable, and especially on Infernal Shrines, to leave your solo lane or just soak the solo lanes. Like, that's okay. You can usually put up a good stall 4v5 if you're playing it defensively and cautiously. Again, maybe in Silver, this is a bit too ambitious, right? Honestly, like, people in Master manage to not be able to count 4 versus 5 sometimes as well, and they YOLO win and int and lose the game. So, you know what, we probably shouldn't expect it in Silver, really. But just in theory, it's okay if a solo laner, especially one with good wave clear, which Shen doesn't particularly have. The Ring of, he doesn't have Ring of Fire yet. Accumulating Flame helps a little bit. Yeah, like with good wave clear, them double soaking can be pretty valuable, and you can stall. You could even just trade the objective. I would say people are probably not going to understand that, and they're just going to YOLO in. So it's probably a bad idea for a solo laner, for example, at this level to over-focus on soak. You're probably better off just 5v5 team fighting. But in that situation, like the Arthas was big overextend, it's easy pick off, so don't need to be too scared. It's good damage there. So you're being too cautious on the Valla. You could be doing a lot more damage with your basic attacks. You could have higher uptime. Chen killed himself. Bummer. So for example, right here, it'd be really nice for you to be up here shooting this Arthas. You could help get that kill. As the Valla, yes, she's squishy. It's important. Basically, what you want to be able to do is once you know all the other heroes and you can track their cooldowns, you can play around them. So like at a quick sweep through, okay, Anna's Sleep Dart is mega bad, but hopefully you should never be hit by that. By the way, if you guys want to see the quest progress, it's there. Anna's Sleep Dart, if you get hit by that, you're pretty fucked. But if they're good, to follow up on it. But hopefully that will never happen. You're very small, you're very fast, and it's a difficult skill shot. Hanzo, the main thing you're worried about is just like a basic attack Q, basic attack combo, or the Dragon's Arrow. Again, they're pretty predictable to play around. It's got a big wind up. Orphea is super telegraphed, and it's very easy for you to dodge around. And then Murden and Arthas, like Arthas, it's like Stormbolt, and it's the root, and you can kind of play around those as well. When you see that if you're able to roughly, you don't even need to specifically, but so long as you're able to roughly track cooldowns in your head, you can play around it. So like, honestly, you can walk up pretty aggressively to an Orphea and bully the crap out of her. And you just, if you sidestep her abilities, like you could vault. If you have vault available, it's super easy. You can vault out of her W if she's going to go for that. You can sidestep this, or you can even vault her Q, and you're going to be totally fine. Like, you can bully them. It's like the spider thing, you know, they're a lot more scared of you than you are of them, if you get me. So that's something to watch out for. So for example, right here, you could have killed the Arthas, which would have been great. And in that fight over there, the enemies had used pretty much all their cooldowns, and we're in a really bad spot running away. You could have got a lot more basic attacks off and pumped out some extra damage, which would have been nice. So we've gone for the basic attack Valla build. I think it's not very good, but well, there you go. So 10% attack speed. It's easier to finish now, at least. And then you get more attack damage per stack. Pretty nice. And then we've got Death Dealer. So you want to just, you know, you can use Vault. The attack click with Vault is pretty good. Again, right here, I feel like the enemy team is struggling so goddamn hard that you're better off just pushing with the Valla. Like, if it was a more... I think this is really good. Like, soaking all the lanes makes a lot more sense in a more even game. But the fact that the enemy team is absolutely in shambles right now, and you guys are absolutely destroying them, I think in this situation, it would actually make more sense for you to push with that objective and look for, like, that... getting the top fort. Like, you guys kill Muradin. They have an Orphea. He's got terrible wave clear. Like, you guys could have... I think that you staying as the Valla to push in would have been worth more than going to soak mid in this particular case. I mean, it's not bad to soak mid, and if they had a better defense, you know, then it would have been good. But just in this particular case, you can see how low that fort got. You can imagine with the power of a Valla there, that would have been probably a fort destroyed, which would be pretty big. So again, here you can be pretty safe. Like, it should be relatively telegraphed. You just need to save your Vault for the Muradin Stormbolt, and then you're good, like that. And after that, you can honestly just start like walking up and shooting them. And they're kind of screwed, you know? I don't know if you do it, but using attack move is certainly a great idea. And just have attack move on quick cast. There are the Stormbolts. You can go aggressive right there, though. So, for example, running away there, you didn't actually need to run away. He threw the Stormbolt, but they didn't have much follow-up, and Muradin was super low. You could have actually queued and vaulted in on top of him and maybe even killed him with, like, a fast take of your heroic. But did not happen. Yeah, you do need to be careful of that Stormbolt. Like, against better players, if you walk up that far and you get hit by a Stormbolt, against a good Orphea, like, she would combo you off of that and you might just die. So that's definitely something to watch out for. Hi Nub, how are you? I'm very good, thank you. Never funky replays. We got 3 replays today, by the way, for people who've tuned in midway through this. We've got Cardo playing Valla, then we got a game with him on Thrall, and then we got Storm Scion playing... I forget what hero he's playing. We'll find out. It's a secret. It's a surprise. Alright. So we're fine here. Brightwing's probably able to teleport. You guys, they've hit level 10, so now it's when they have the ability to fight back. Chen is split pushing. Jaina's pretty out of position. This is fine for you to do this. You know, I would just say in terms of that map situation right there, there's a big risk when you guys push back to your gate that Chen would get dove on. So you just be a little bit aware of that. But it worked out okay. You guys have all of your heroics, so we're feeling pretty good about that. And we're going to do a bit of soaking up top lane, which is fine as well. Just waiting for the next objective, really. Yo, Nub, did you get my comment about doing ABBA with the over-explain? I think I missed it. Good to vault out of that. That's exactly what you want to do. Dodge the Stormbolt. And at that point, you can be pretty aggressive. They've used the 2 things that are actually scary. So that's when you can get a bit more aggro. It's fine to clear this. And you just be looking at the minimap. Ana get caught out by the Chen. This is why I banned Chen quite a bit. And going in aggressive here is definitely something that you want to do. With the vault, good aggressive vault. She's very far out of position. Very easy to kill her. Nice. Yeah, I will do an ABBA over-explain at some point. I'm going to change the over-explain series, by the way. So I'm going to do just regular gameplay as regular gameplay. And then I'm going to make the over-explain a post-game commentary where I commentate my own game after it's happened. Because I think the problem with over-explain while playing is that I can't do it. Only if... I think I did it well on a couple of them when I was super high energy. But most of the time I can't. So again here... One thing I noticed in this fight was that... Like, if I just pause it right there, for example, one thing I noticed in this fight, just at a quick glance, I thought that you positioned the fight pretty well. One thing I did notice, though, is that these abilities, your damage abilities, stayed on cooldown. You weren't using them for a long time in that fight. You didn't press those buttons. Like, whether it's the killing blow or whether it's the first blow doesn't actually particularly matter. The damage is the damage. You know what I mean? one thing that is important to note is that in that sort of situation where they're coming in, it's more worth to just get the damage out on these abilities and then have the second rotation of the abilities come up again during the fight than holding on to them for as long as possible. Like, you're missing some potential damage output there, especially when they're all stacked up. That's a really good multi-shot target, for example. So that's just one thing to watch out for. Like, for example, right here, there's absolutely zero harm in shooting the Arthas with your Q ability. Why not? It just pokes him down a little bit. You've got plenty of mana. There's no real reason not to. I just waste a few more heals from Ana. It just means he's a little bit lower life for a while. Again, in this situation, I don't think that you split pushing really makes the most sense. Considering, again, how hard that you're stomping. I mean, you could go for a split push with Valla. Like, if they're defending better, if they're having a better game, you split pushing and being like, okay, we don't expect to get anything with the Immortal or Punisher, whatever it's called. We'll just split push and we'll try take down their forts in the other lanes instead, because Valla's split push is super good. That's viable. Like, this is good. I think this move is good, though your team is kind of yeeted in there a little bit. But I think it makes sense in this case for you to change. One thing to watch out for you is that you're playing in silver, so your teammates are just going to yeet in. So he's going to die, probably. So this is pretty nice. You can see there. I think, again, to recap, I think it would make the most sense in this situation, considering how the game is going. I think you just pushing in, letting the Chen split push top is the best thing. You guys should be easily able to take the fort, 4v5 even, with the Punisher help. It should be fine. Shen should be able to push down top, and then you could rotate his fort down bottom afterwards. Again, the thing to watch out for is that your teammates aren't doing that, so you need to be very careful of that. Luckily, they managed to miss pretty much everything. You want to definitely get up to your team a little bit faster and just help. But yeah, it's kind of a miracle they didn't die. We'll take it. Again, right here, you could stun him and blow him up. So you could have stunned him earlier. If you pull the trigger on those spells faster, the stun specifically, you lock him down closer to your team, and then your teammates may have been in range to actually add the damage that would have potentially secured the kill, and you force him to panic jump instead of giving him the sort of the freedom to get out a little bit more easily, right? So that potentially could have been a kill. Just being, you know, understanding that you're in a dominant position and being able to pull that trigger a second faster could make a significant difference. Gonna work down this camp. It's totally cool. Gone for Tempered by Discipline, which probably does make the most sense at this build. Like I said, I don't really think that you need Gloom. So long as you don't stand in the nano boosted Orphea, we'll be fine. It's basically raid leading. You're pretty good at that. Well, thank you. But yeah, you could definitely invade. They got it. Oh well, it's fine. Yeah, it's still a negative effect though. We'll see what feedback we get when I do the over-explain as a post-game thing. We'll see what feedback is. All right. I mean, it's equal on talent tiers. You guys are 2 levels ahead. I think it's fine to play it passively. There's no forts to push down or anything. I think it's fine to play passive until you get 16. That's okay. Hey, we finished the level 4 quest at level 15. That's why the quest isn't that good. Now it's pretty strong at this point. You do a lot more damage with your clicks. Feels bad standing 1 inch from the orb and not getting it. Oh well, doesn't really matter. Yeah. Oh, that's a big top. Okay, you should just kill him. Yeah. Nice. Okay, good aggression from you. That's exactly what you're looking for. Murden just dwarf toss on the spot, so that's definitely a good point to be aggressive. Again, there, maybe stepping back a bit too far. Manticore, obviously, is super powerful. And obviously, against Murd and Arthas, it's really, really damn good. Really good. Okay, you can just keep vaulting forwards and murder them all here. You should be using Vault on cooldown to chase. They're so fucked right now that you just want to be diving as ridiculously hard as you can. Like, there's pretty much no way if they stop to try turn around and kill you, your team's just gonna kill them. So you've essentially nothing to fear. Maximum aggression. Ah! That was like every scatter arrow hit you. Chunked. Yeah, there's nothing really to gain from trying to push out that way. If you could just leave and clear this. Guys have a 3-level lead. At this point, enemy team is pretty screwed. What I would definitely want to see you doing this time, I definitely want to see you pushing with the Punisher in bot lane this time. You want to just smash a keep. Like, smashing a keep is so important. Honestly, with having level 16 advantage, there's even the possibility. There is a possibility that you just win the game. You like Seething Hatred after the buff? Yeah, so do I actually. Like, it's a lot more pickable now that it was buffed. A lot more pickable now that it was buffed. It's this one. Gives you spell power at 10 stacks. It's not terrible. I still think Manticore is really strong. Good stun. That's a really good stun on that Muradin. Really well timed right there as he was looking for stuff. And again, you can just go ham here. Same situation as last time. You can just dive like crazy. What are they going to do? If they turn around on top of you, they're going to die to your team. It's like 5 people plus the Punisher versus 3. It's not even fair fight. You can go YOLO. Don't leave the lane, friend. You want to push this down. This is potentially like core possibilities. If you get another kill here, there's core potential. So your team is too passive. Again, at a higher level play, you'd smash the side wall and go in, dive in with the Punisher. This way, you do it slow, and the Punisher is almost dead. So you're obviously not going to go core. At this point, yeah, just taking their camp is good. Good pings. That's good leading by you. That's good leading by you. Coming up here and clearing this should be fine as well. Honestly, you could probably stun and kill her right there, but it's not really that important. That's a scary place for you to move. There's a Muradin in that bush. Again, against higher level players, you walking this way, you'd be dead in seconds. You'd be dead. Alright, cool. So again, you've gone kind of into passive mode here. 3 levels up. Should be a pretty easy win. Yeah, you can fight on their campus, okay. You could just wait for level 20 and win. It's alright. Yeah, we're all good. Invading the camp is fine. Just watch what Shen's doing. Muradin's bot lane, so it's really good to invade. So you're very slow there. And a number of your team are very slow to follow up. Like, you see Muradin bot lane, that's a free invade. He can't get there. And you could probably kill all 4 of them if you guys were quicker. That's the sort of thing that I would be looking for, like playing in silver. Be like, okay, when are they gonna greed for camps? That's such a common mistake. The caltrops dropped on top of each other, so you got stunned. That's kind of funny. No Manticore proc. TY right wing. Welcome. What have we gone for? Firefly Quiver. Okay. Yeah, Fireflight's really good. I think it just ends up being more useful in general. There is an argument to be made for Rancor, perhaps, on the Shrine. Just to melt the Shrine, but nah. I mean, you could maybe make considering how dominant this game is, you could maybe make an excuse for just being a machine gun turret with Rancor and just kill Muradin and Narthus. I think there's an argument to be made for that for sure. But you can't really go wrong with Firefly Quiver. It's super good. And lets you choose your targets a lot more easily. No stun there. Okay. So you misplayed that team fight. That was like an easy stun and kill on the Orphea. You had 2 charges in fact. We might watch this team fight back again. I think there's a number of things to look at there. Alright, and then presumably you guys go core and win the game, yeah? So we're all good. I need to exit, go back. Let's just rewind like a minute or so. I just watch that one again. Okay. Alright, cool. So if we look at this fight, so a couple of things that I think I saw in that fight. Number 1, you had 2 charges of Rain of Vengeance, and there was an Orphea got stunned, like, right in front of you. You could just stun lock her and kill her. Like, you should be definitely killing that Orphea. And then the second big thing that I noticed in that fight was what I would call over-kiting, which was, I think you vaulted to safety, away from like Muradin or Arthas or something. I can't remember now. But you vaulted to safety away from them. And then instead of resuming your basic attacks and sort of kiting around with that and using that inherently higher movement speed and just maximizing your damage output with your attacks, you kind of ran away for a while and kind of ran in a bit of a loop. And again, you're just losing some damage uptime there that you don't want to lose. So let's watch this fight. You are Walakami. Alright, cool. So the fight's gonna start soon, TM. Alright, so here we go. Stealth Diablo secures her. So right here, like you can see, she's been polymorphed. And you're about to proc Manticore as well. That's easy drop. Rain of Vengeance, basic attack, multi-shot, Rain of Vengeance. You could like vault and hit her with a vault attack for bonus damage with what's it called? Death Dealer. Though you don't really have much hatred, so it's not going to do much. But that's, I think, that's an easy Orphea kill right there. And again, you're feeling pretty safe. I mean, Anna Sleep Dart, but you know, so right here, if you hit that stun, she would have not been able to cast that, and she would have died. You'll see she actually survives here. So we vaulted away. Muradin's on us. Stunning the Muradin is okay. Stunning them would probably be better, but this is fine too. So we're still focusing Orphea. Probably be aware of proccing Manticore and Muradin right there. Okay. So now we vault. And right here, okay, after vaulting, this is where you can turn around, especially with Caltrops. You got Caltrops in the way and Brightwing assisting. After this vault, you can turn around and start shooting them, especially as soon as they run away. So you can see that, like, they start running away. And you're only running away for, like, an extra second, but it's a bit of lost time. Okay, it wasn't that bad, really. It wasn't that bad. I'm kind of nitpicking a little bit. But you get some of the idea right there. You get some of the idea right there. I think you could exploit that Rain of Vengeance in that team fight a lot more. Do more. Misclick on the wall, perhaps, yeah. I mean, it's only a case of millisecond reaction time. And yeah, it's easy core. An easy game. Alright, cool. I think well played overall, though. Again, to reiterate, I think some of the main things, I think, you know, playing a little bit more aggressively when you're understanding the enemy's cooldowns, you could get more damage output. And then the other thing, probably the bigger strategic thing, was that I think with a couple of the objectives, a couple of times you were overvaluing, considering your composition versus their composition and just the general game state. I would say that there were a couple of times that you did definitely overvalue split push and soak, when in fact you were in an extremely dominant position and could have just pushed with objective and secured another major objective in a fort and whatnot. So we could have got a bit more out of that. But on the whole, I thought it was a good Valla play for sure. I thought it was really nice. I mean, you've got double the hero damage of everyone else on the team, top siege damage as well. It's a very dominant game. Well played. I think that's certainly a lot better than anyone would expect a silver Valla to be. And I'm not a massive fan of the talent build, but it is this synergized like vaulty talent build, to be fair. It does make sense at what it is. So yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I thought you did good. Nice one. Hey Nub, how are things? They're very good. Thank you very much, Breezer. So yeah, that was game one. Oh, the other game is going to be Anduin. Yeah, let's dive into a Thrall game from Cardo. It's a bit of a shorter game. And then we're going to look at a very long game from Storm Scion as well. And that will be the coaching. The coaching stream complete. Then we will play some Age of Empires. Alright, cool.
Prepare yourself for battle, heroes.
Ready for fighting now?
On level 1 this week, we should go to lane. Yeah. I think that's fine as well.
The battle begins.
It can be kind of nice to try to get a couple of stacks of Echo the Elements on Thrall in mid lane and help the Zebo get some stacks. I mean, Nazebo is a bad hero, and Nazebo and Cursed Hollow is like really bad, but oh well, fuck it, right? Okay, cool. So again, it's another game. It's silver. We're playing Thrall. Like my favorite Thrall build is Echo of the Elements, and you want to hopefully finish the quest relatively early on. It just helps you spam Chain Lightning, which gives you more procs of your trait and other benefits that you get from other talents. Mana Tide being one of them, which I like to take as well, which means that you're spamming and getting more trait procs gives you back more mana and gives you reduced cooldown on your other basic abilities, which I think is really, really good. And of course, this lowers the mana cost as well, which gives you even more value off that Mana Tide. You can direct that into other things. And then I like to take Ancestral Wrath. You get Ancestral Wrath every time your trait activates, which again, you're going to be spamming out and building up faster than other level 1 talents would. And it does a nice big chunk of damage, 15% max health damage over 3 seconds. Very big nuke onto a single target, and it heals Thrall for a lot as well. So it really increases your survivability, and it gives you lots of burst damage in the team fight. I personally much prefer Earthquake, though I think Sundering is very good too. Then at level 13, I do like to take Frostwolf Grace. You can just press your D, it makes it activatable, give you a nice chunky heal, which again procs Mana Tide, gives you some cooldown reduction, and helps build up Ancestral Wrath too as well. I think the other ones are probably okay too. I like this one. There's an extra button if you're comfortable with it or not. I personally think Thunderstorm is really underrated. It gives you a big slow and Chain Lightning with the 2 charges you can, and the cooldown reduction and all the synergies. You can build up the quest pretty fast. It gives you bonus damage at top stacks, which isn't really that important. This is really about the slows, right? It's really about the slows, and you're just going to be zapping different people and just spreading just some generic damage around the fight with your Chain Lightnings. The slows are very impactful. They build up to a strong slow very quickly. Like a 40% slow for 2 seconds. It's pretty fucking nuts, man. So yeah, I think that's really good. You just need to make sure, as much as possible, not to Chain Lightning the same person twice. And then at level 20, Earthen Shields, I think, is a really strong team fighting thing. Windrush is good as well. World Breaker is probably not very good, so you probably go for Windrush with that. But yeah, there you go. That's what I like on Thrall, so you guys know. So we're going to lane. People fighting a bit in mid. So here's the Thrall. I think it would be worth aggressively pushing your lane. So you've seen that all 5 of the enemy team were mid. I think it's worth running up in the lane and just throwing a feral spirit through the minion wave. As Thrall, your wave clear is pretty bad until you finish Echo, especially because you kind of want to save Chain Lightning to try get Echo stacks. Feral Spirit, it does 160 damage at level 1 to everything it hits, which is pretty nice, right? It's pretty nice. On that, we'll go through... It's hard, obviously, once the minions separate into like 3 melee caster and 3 backline, you can't hit all of them. But when they're walking at you in a line, you can. So that can be a nice way to get a little bit extra wave clear. And especially right here, when you're confident they're not there, it's a nice way to get extra. Okay, we're going to go for it. That's good. I like it. You can push that even faster. It's one nice thing you can do when a team is very slow to leave mid lane. If you push the wave as fast as you can, and you push your minions into towers, the towers will kill them quickly, which means that they may miss some of that experience. They could potentially even miss the whole wave and give you a nice little lead. I don't really have any particular tips for stacking his Q quest. Just kind of YOLO, hope for the best. So we've done pretty well there. Again, right here, I'd be relatively confident in stepping forward. So again, you could see most of them in mid lane. I think once you push that out, you could even be pre-positioning and be ready with that second Feral Spirit to do like some zoning. You can root him out. And again, the goal isn't really to particularly fight him, but it's kind of going, okay, I'm going to slow you down, dismount you, root you, slow you. I just want to keep you out of XP range of the minions while they're dying to towers. If you fight me, I'll just walk away and I denied you some XP. If you run to your minions, well, I get a good trade into you. It's kind of a win-win. I know your team is all in mid lane, so I'm not really losing anything. Convection KT is standard. I mean, if you finish Convection, it's really good. But again, as the Thrall, we're just really looking to soak and to just build our stacks. We're not really looking to do too much. I mean, we can certainly trade into him. He's dancing, I like it. You could root him and take the globe. Yeah. And you can totally trade into him. Once he's used his abilities, you're good, right? And you'll heal from proccing your thing with your E. He's basically run out of mana, so you should be pretty safe. You could be more aggressive here and lower his HP. Like, you don't need to be this scared, man. So you're very hesitant to use your melee basic attacks here. Thrall hits really hard. And this Imperius, he like ran himself super fast. You really don't need to be scared. Again, the W through the minion wave is good wave clear. And it would actually proc your heal a couple of times. If you had been harassing him more in lane, that might have been a kill. As it is, it's just like a flyby deer. I don't know. Doesn't really do anything. Alright, cool. Anyway, we're up to 15 stacks. That's good, actually. Now we need 6 more. Objective hasn't procced yet. Convection Kale. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty common sight in silver, like chat's saying.
Gather tribute. Learn my favor.
Like right here, it's probably more worth for you to split push and finish your quest. I would recommend, if I was playing against Imperius, I actually want to trade into him, right? The most useful thing you can do is to kite him while he does his E. You don't want him to, like, with Burn the Impure and with Battle Hunger, like, you don't want him to just keep smacking you and reapplying the mark with his E and getting multiple applications of it. You can just kite him, especially with your root. You can just root him, walk away. And then, if you're more comfortable with Imperius and you know him better, you can engage him when you know your mark has just expired. And like, basically you're playing around your 2 E's. Like, once his E is gone, you probably win. And like, if you have your E, you can beat him up. Especially with him staying top, this is really good. Again, I don't think you guys should need to give the first. I mean, Imperius is still top, so it doesn't matter what state you're in if he's not there either. Like, they can delay. Again, right here, this is a misplay from you here. I guess you're thinking about your team and talking to them. But what have we seen? We saw Imperius. He was very low health and low mana, and he just walked away, right? So what that says to me is that there's a very good chance that he is Hearthstoned and that he's going to come join his team. If he does that, you want to be pushing this as hard as you can. You want to be getting structural damage. You want to be making the most of your split push. Sort of passively soaking is a waste, right? Alternatively, he might just be behind the wall, but he's low health, so you can be aggressive. You need to be aware that he might be rotating back up to you now. Your team got a kill, that's nice. But yeah, at this point, I'd basically be going in maximum wave clear mode, which is, again, W through as many minions as possible, Q on cooldown, E on cooldown, kill stuff, push it. Like, you could probably kill that tower, pushing it a bit harder. That's just something to be aware of. Okay, Imperius is in mid lane, so this should be an easy tower smash. Just, like, E it down. Cool. Yep, nice, good. Now we want to be a little more careful. Yeah, that's good. Okay, that's good play by you there. That's good play by you. At this point, yeah, you can just Q him whenever. Again, I keep the wave clear on, keep the pressure on. You can also, because your E gives you move speed, yeah, 30% indeed for 4 seconds. You can just use that to run away from Imperius when he does his stuff. You really don't need to be this scared of him. You can bully him a lot more. How hard does Thrall's attack? Like, at this level, Thrall's attack hits for 227 damage, which against yourself is 10% of your life. It's pretty strong. How much life does Imperius have? Against Imperius, okay, it's not 10%, but, you know, it's a good chunk, right? It's a good chunk. Let's get the camera back. So, fighting for this one does make sense. You guys have 7. It should be an easy take, actually. You guys have 7. You can just soak mid lane and kind of hover between mid and the objective. It's totally fine. You want to use your number 1 on him right there. Again, you should be more aggressive with your basic attacks there. And you should be ready to drop that Ancestral Wrath on him a little bit faster. YOLO Arthas in the back line. Good Chain Lightning. Yeah, again, I think, you know, we're just being a little bit too passive on the Thrall. Bear in mind, Thrall is actually quite tanky because of how much you heal with this. It's like 300 health every time it procs. Chain Lightning bounces, it gets you 4 ticks. It gives you 4 ticks, so it just like procs almost the whole thing. And you got 2 charges. You can get multiple procs with that. So, you know, you've got quite a lot of self-survivability. You can be kind of aggressive, take a little bit of poke, and back off, and you'd be fine. Get the globe. Okay.
We see who gathers enough tribute this time.
Help with bruisers. Oh, you need to make sure she doesn't die. Oh boy. Alright. Enemy team is messing up. Yeah, you need to be saving her. Alright, so you're lucky the enemy team sucks. Lunara kind of went a weird way. JK! Oh, the bamboozled. Okay, that's very funny. Yeah, so just watch out there. Watch out. I think you kind of baited that poor Lunara. I don't know what she was doing walking in that direction. That was pretty fucking bizarre. Imperius literally oblivious to Arthas Lunara walking up his backside, which is lucky. You were also oblivious. Nobody knew what was happening, and Lunara walks away mostly alive. Yeah, you certainly want to try help her get out of that situation. You guys definitely want to delay right there, and delaying with your Chain Lightning is very easy. That should be your priority. Again, you want to drop this on Arthas. That's your priority here. Nuke him down. There we go. You're putting it on too late. You want to use this sooner, and again, look for the second cast of it. You want to be super aggro here. That's good. That's good. All right. That's good aggression right there. So good to recognize. Picking up Sundering and using it very quickly there. That's something that you did in the last game as well. I think you're doing that really well, actually, is that it seems like you're probably comfortable with the hotkeys, or else you're ready to hit level 10 in the team fights, it seems, and to use the ability in the team fight, so that's quite good. You've got like pretty good leadership skills. I like it. Much better than you typically see. I think that's good. I mean, obviously the do Bruiser's call was a bit wonky, right? But on the whole, good leadership skills. Try and direct your team, saying good job. Usually, one of the problems, you definitely want to Hearthstone and get mana. So you want to be full mana for this objective. Hearthstoning after that boss is a pretty big priority for you. You're going into this objective with really, really low mana, which isn't good. So you have to waste your well. You could have just Hearthstone and still had the well for this, yeah. But yeah, a lot of people, when they're trying to do leadership, they just insult their team, or like they flame them and spam pings. That's not good. Just giving like just clean calls, like saying, okay, let's go boss, rush it now. Good job. That's great. You know, just a clean call, letting your team know. You know, being a team player. I think you've done a good job of that. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. That's good too, letting the Zebo get the stacks. I like that. We're just pushing in. I'd definitely be looking at what's happening there. Okay, nothing much happening. Bit of a bummer that the top lane is getting pushed in by that camp. You don't have a talent to your advantage, so it's maybe a little bit challenging to get more out of this. Yeah. I would Sunder him right there. I think that's a good kill potential. Like, that's where Sundering would be super good. That Tychus is way out. If you knock him towards the wall, it will let Diablo get him. I mean, you kill that Tychus, you, like, win the game. Okay, we got our damage out. Great little dive here. Kelthus is in Africa. Reset camera. I'd just be looking for the keep in this situation again. Getting the keep down is a big priority, especially while they have multiple people dead. Root on that Kelthus, really nice. Diablo didn't follow up, unfortunately. And that's great. Okay, cool. So getting that keep down is super good. Like I said, I think, you know, if you Sunder that Tychus and kill Tychus, getting the keep is pretty much inevitable as well. Yeah, be careful here. You got hit by the Frostworm. Yeah, you're maybe a bit greedy here. He might live. I don't think so, though. The Thrall self-healing, it's good. It's not that good, though, and down he goes. A little bit overstayed. I don't think that... Bad pathing by me. Yeah, so you stayed late and you went for extra chain lightning when it wasn't fully safe to do so. And the extra chain lightning didn't really matter. You'd already smashed the keep. I mean, getting just a reset in your team is more valuable at that point, but oh well. Mistakes happen. Oh, oh, oh. You almost want to be fighting though. Look at that. They're basically all dead. Alright. You could maybe do something. Oh, we're going for it. Yep. Nice damage. Another chain lightning. Good. Good, good. Lunara's coming in as well. Right there. Considering how good that engage was, I think you should have kept going ham, dude. Oh, we missed the thing. It's okay. Hit her with your number 1, with your Ancestral Wrath, just to make sure she dies. Okay. Yeah, I think you could have gone even more ham there. That was a good flank by Lunara too. Yeah, you guys could totally take their boss. Diablo respawn as well, of course, because of his souls. That was a good engage. Lunara just running them down. It's hunting season. This time, she's a Russian Lunara. In Russia, deer hunt you. She literally just ran them all down. Amazing. Beautiful Lunara, really nice. I mean, that's probably called PETA. That's probably illegal. Don't flirt with Lunara, please. Oh my god. What would your wife say? Cool. Alright. This is pretty dominant again. Big 3-level lead. Should be pretty solid. Bruiser camp. We could look to take it for sure. I think taking Bruiser and trying to take mid fort while they have to deal with the boss is pretty solid, actually. Be pretty happy with that. Right, we can take objective, teleport up. Feel pretty good about it. I'd probably be pinging the team at this point just to make sure they know to go mid.
Well done.
So I don't think that's necessarily obvious to Silver. Alright, we're pushing this almost as hard as we can. Bit reluctant to use the W for wave clear, which is I think a mistake. Like, if you could think about it here, like using that W for wave clear, if they're fighting the boss, are they going to get over to you in time to punish the W being on cooldown? No, they're not. So, yeah. Again, I think that you guys could have smashed that keep if you hard committed to pushing mid lane after getting whatever the boss and the bruiser camp. Is this NA silver or EU silver? I don't know. Gank at siege, yeah. That Ana is big, out of position. Really good leadership by you in this game. Like, good calls from the team. What I really like is the ganks. I think that's really solid. Expecting the Diablo flip, a little unlucky. Again, you could go more ham with your basic attacks there, and that Arthas would have died. He died anyway, that's good. But yeah, I think it's really good leadership this game. Like, good calls, understanding where the enemy team's gonna go, and you do wanna like sidestep. You wanna like attack, move around to not take damage from the giants. But yeah, like understanding that at this level of play, like people are gonna overextend for objectives and siege and camps constantly, so you can punish that super hard. But what I think has been good is that you can see it in this as well, is that because you've shown good leadership skills, you just made, you know, clean calls, clean pings, good calls as well is important. You've actually made calls that make sense, that are good, and you've been positive, and you've sort of explained it. I think you've shown that, and your team is now willing to follow you. I think that's really important. Like, I've seen it a bunch of times in Masters. Like, you get someone and they're just toxic, and they make bad calls, and then they start flaming. They're like, OMG team, like, why you no follow calls? And it's like, because you're shit. Like it's just obvious that you don't really have any skill at this at all, and you're just being loud for the sake of it, you know. Bad leadership will undermine your ability to make calls, whereas making good calls and being positive, your team would be more willing to listen to you, and then you can set up more stuff like that and organize your team even better. So I think that's been really solid. It's the best silver he's watched in a while. Yeah, I think that you've had a really positive impact on Thrall, on the Thrall here. Again, that's a sunder and a kill. Good route though. Worth to use for the slow. I would have pulled the sundering trigger there. Ah, well, he'll still die, of course. The sleep dart. Kidnapped. But are they kidnapping you? Are they stuck in here with you? Are you stuck in with them? Are they stuck? I don't know. Oh no, rip. Tragedy strikes. Thrall falls. It's okay. Like I said, your team is so far ahead that, you know, just run it down and secure the game. Yeah, I thought you did a really good job this game. Like I said, I feel like there's definitely opportunities for better Thrall micro. And again, just understanding a bit more the limits of the aggression. Again, that will come with time and playing ranked. I'd say that's probably true for both of these games. I think in terms of understanding your hero's limits and the aggression that you can get, I think that will come with more time and more time playing ranked. Like especially, I know you're saying you come from quick match, where you can have all sorts of crazy compositions and stuff like that. I think when you get used to the more structured situation that you'll typically have in ranked, with more standardized team comps usually, a more standardized meta picks usually as well, it becomes a bit more familiar and you can learn those limits a bit better. But I thought it's a really good job of leading. And obviously it's easier to lead when you're winning and you're ahead, of course. But I think it's still a very good job. It shows just making clean calls and some positivity. But yeah, there you go. Cool. Nice games. Cool. I hope Blizzard and Apache give a manual of how to play the game. Like, for real. A mandatory one. You see, it's very difficult to make a long-term guide for the game because stuff changes with balance patches, right? Like, I can make a detailed guide on how to play the game right now, and then 2 weeks from now, they might change something that makes that no longer relevant, you know? Like, that's the difficulty. Alright, let's jump into this game from Storm Scion as well. Like, that's the difficulty there. So, yeah. The entire team doing the wrong thing together is better than splitting the team. That's true. That's often true, yeah. That's often true. Yep. Okay, so this is from Storm Scion. Let's say saying having a bit of a tough time in life recently, so I hope that things are going better for you. Now, been enjoying WoW Classic, excited for Pokemon Sword and Shield. That's awesome. I'm sad that I haven't. I don't have a Switch yet. So man, it's a bit disappointing I can't play it, but oh well. Okay, cool. Interesting replay. Anduin on Volskaya. One of the reasons part of the reason I share it is due to the recent over-explain video. Even though I'm well experienced with HOTS, appreciate your commentary. Like to believe it betters me as a player. Play rank sparingly, admittedly casually. I just like to have fun, take the skill of the game with a grain of salt if you do end up watching it. Diamond 5 at the moment. Yeah, cool. Let's take a look at the game and let's see what's happening in this one. Blizzard guy, don't pick Genji, he's bad. I think it would be quite funny, right, if Blizzard put the actual win rates of like the leagues, like if you're in Diamond, if it was like, here's the win rate for like Sylvanas in Diamond, here's the win rate for whatever, you know, they gave them for the different ranks. I think that'd be quite funny. Okay, let's take a look at this game. So I already saw this as a really long game, so I'm curious what's gonna happen. Got the big old diva coming in. Enemy team has a big old Cassia composition.
4, 3, 2.
We've got double support Lily Rhaegar.
Let's do this.
Whoops. Not your typical double support comp. I guess you guys got a diva. Was it like Lily versus diva solo lane? The ultimate in excitement. We're playing some Anduin. So we've gone for bold strategy. I think bold strategy is really good too. That's totally a viable pick. I think Renew is the worst level one, but I think the other two are both really good. Probably worth to look for a route in the Maiev there. So like Maiev engaged pretty aggressively. I think it's worth to look for the route onto her. If it forces her to use her D, you feel pretty good about that. If it hits her after her D, you feel very good about that. So, something to look for. Murden getting yeeted in. Again, nice heal. He should be alive. We missed the skill shot there of the root. Again, this Maiev is super aggro. So it'd be nice to... if we hit a root on her, that would have been great to punish. So that would be something I... Like, immediately, if I was playing this game, I'd be going like, okay, their Maiev is... YOLO is his middle name, and I want to look to punish that with my CC when possible, right? Now, as a support, there's not a whole lot that you can do. You can look to soak. You can look to assist your team when they go for camps. But if your team is not going for camps, there's not a whole lot you can do. So, like, Murden and D.Va are together in bot lane, which is kind of a waste. Where's our front line? Again, so I think this to me is hilarious. Because that, to me, demonstrates a lot of ignorance about the game. Where's our front line? Because what that says to me is not the lack of a front, the existence or lack of a front line doesn't actually matter here. What actually matters is soak and the ability to take camps. So the fact that he's criticizing the lack of front line shows me that he doesn't have a clue what he's talking about in terms of what actually matters. It doesn't matter if you have a front line. It's irrelevant. What matters at this point of the game is that you're soaking all the minions and you're getting good timings on the camp. Whether a hero is frontline or not doesn't affect their ability to soak. Soak is just soak. So yeah, I think that's an interesting thing to note. And the fact that Jane is concerned about frontline would also indicate to me that she doesn't really understand what she should be doing in the early game. It says she wants to make some sort of aggressive teamfight plays? I don't know. Instead of doing camps, which she should be doing as the Jaina, as one of the best camp-taking heroes in the game. Alright, we've been pulled in. Not too much happening here. We're just sort of chilling. You're doing a fine job here as Anduin. You've basically done all that you can at this point. Low Diamond and Plat is definitely the most toxic league. I could see that, yeah. I think that generally toxicity is high, like, it decreases, generally speaking, as ranks go higher. But I think that... I think there is something to be said for, like, the high platinum, low diamond toxicity, which is, like, where players are like, man, I'm high platinum, low diamond. Now I'm really good at the game. It's like... They're, like, good enough to think that they're really good without being good enough to realize that they're actually not, I guess. There's be one way to put it. That's a lot of damage on that Maiev. That's actually pretty good for you guys. Now, okay, let's actually talk about the game and something more useful. So, I think fighting here is actually pretty good considering the state of their health bars. That looks pretty nice, and the Jaina respawn coming in. D.Va's actually zooming in with the bomb ready as well. In terms of XP, it's a little bit more awkward. They're probably going to hit 7 first, but considering that Maiev health bar, definitely a good time to make an aggressive play. Maiev yoinks the mech in on top of them. I like that. And it's a really nice kill there by your team. Good punish onto the Johanna. That's good. Right here, I think definitely for you, I think the one thing to note is that you're definitely underutilizing the root. Like, again, right there, that Cassio's big overextend. She's very difficult to kill when she's moving, because that armor protects her from a lot of Sylvanas damage and a lot of D.Va's damage. If you hit her with that root, though, that's 1.5 seconds where your team can really focus her and nuke her down. And that's a pretty big deal. Maiev with the pulls. Good heals. Again, right here, running away. I think you could have done more there. I mean, number one, you can be basic attacking. You do have bold strategy. So you are healing people for 43 with every single basic attack. You're healing for 43. Every single basic attack is doing 100 damage. I mean, if you weave in 5 basic attacks, like, you could potentially heal Sylvanas for 10% of her HP, which is okay, while also doing, like, 500 damage yourself, right? So, you know, don't underestimate the impact that those can have. And then again, when you're running away and your team is trying to reset, you had Chastise available, you could have thrown that out to help them peel. So, You know, again, utilizing your basic attacks a bit here as the Anduin and looking for those priority root targets. I think your healing has been very good, but just watch out for those little more aggressive aspects. Okay, you very much need to watch out for that Maiev engage and look to punish that with the root. Like, that's the main thing to punish with the root. Good W here will get good value. Yeah, again, watching for that Maiev. Diva Bomb is nice. They've got a turret, though. Yeah, definitely uncomfortable with the root. Heal on her, be important. Oh boy, yeah, your team gonna die. Okay, well. Again, I think, you know, we won't focus on the overall team fight in terms of that. Aw, poor Misty Cat. Calling the GG 6 minutes in. To be fair, you're pretty far behind. You're pretty far behind. But yeah, the main thing to watch for you there is watch your positioning with the Maiev engage. You don't want to get hooked in by that, and look to punish her with the root afterwards. And then just getting more basic attacks out in the team fight is pretty nice. I would not recommend Binding Heal at all here. Binding Heal, I take Binding Heal in my build because I take Pursuit by Grace. Bold Strategy increases Flash Heal from a 4-second cooldown to a 6-second cooldown, right? Which makes Binding Heal much worse. Much worse. You're better off taking one of these. I think Power Word Shield would be pretty good in this fight. In this game. Blessed Recovery is fine as well. But yeah, don't take Binding Heal if you take Bold Strategy. It's anti-synergy. It's really good with Pursuit Grace though. Which is why I normally go for those two in combination as well. Moral Compass is good as well. It's fine. Does a little bit extra damage. It helps you. Basically, Moral Compass is particularly good with Pursuit by Grace. Or, sorry, with Bold Strategy. It procs 2 things with Pursuit by Grace, and it activates Renew as well. So long as you, you know, there is a hero near the apex to hit. So it's a good solid one. Big old Bloodlust. We've gone for Salvation, which I do think is the better choice nearly all the time. I think in this situation, just getting yoked in by that would be better, right? Just been like, yo, I actually want to get yeeted in. You want to make sure to actually cast the Q. But yeah, in that team fight, one thing I'd say you could use the Maiev thing as a shortcut to get closer to the actual fight, which is important. You're very safe, you are high on health, and it puts you in position to use Salvation potentially. So looking for that could be pretty good. Oh, Diva took the slow nuke talent. Nuclear option. Yeah, it's not a good talent. It just makes it... Okay, yeah, it increases the bomb. It basically makes the bomb an extra zoning thing for 3 seconds of zoning, but they make it basically impossible to ever hit anyone by the bomb. Like, they'd have to try to be hit, you know? So, bit of a bummer. One thing I would say, healing Murden shouldn't be too much of a priority. Like, unless he's very much in danger, but he should be pretty survivable by himself. Whoa, that's aggressive. You want to really look to punish that. So that Maya, that was a big overextend by Maya. You definitely want to look to punish that. Again, right there, you want to be positioned more further forwards. Being too cautious there is the Anduin. Like, that was a crazy dive by Maya. You could totally punish that with your root. And then you would have been in position for the salve afterwards. It takes so long for the bomb to explode. It's hilarious. Okay. Stealing the camp is nice. I'd definitely be ready for a salve here. You want to be tracking her interrupt. Okay, she's used it. That's good. So throwing out the heal, popping your salve would be pretty good at that point. If you pop it preemptively is fine. Just make sure Diva doesn't die with the thing. Good heal on Diva. Alright, nice. Okay, that was good. That was a good rush of the objective by you guys. Sylvanas at the spray. The return spray. I like it. It's got style. Got style. Alright, cool. Something a bit more harsh in this game because it's diamond, so.
Control the terminal and bring in the protector.
What's the auto attack move command? I think it's A by default. And I recommend setting attack move to auto cast. Okay, I would just, yeah, be looking, yeah, good salve. That's a bad situation to find yourself in. You want to fire off your W quickly after that. Very slow on the W right there. Like with them piling in on that, on your salve and on top of the Maiev cage, firing off your W is a high priority to get a big heal. Bearing in mind your W does a lot more healing the more targets that it hits. There's a lot more damage the more targets it hits. 25% per hero hit. So if they're diving in on you like that, if you hit 4 of them, that wave coming back will do double the amount of healing that it would normally do. It's a big increase. So maximizing that's pretty important. Okay, some nice kills there. Oh, unlucky. That was a good idea for the root. She just had a bit too much speed because of the movement. It's okay. Getting a heal on Jaina would be pretty nice. Or Sylvanas to help her go ham. Jaina, heal. Heal Jaina. Heal Jaina. Oh, oh. My heart. So you're very passive here on Anduin. You've missed a lot of damage with your basic attacks. A lot of damage. Like, you could have killed that guy that ran away with a little bit of health previously, that sort of thing. That's one thing to note. It's like, if you look at the fight, like, you're spending a lot of the fight very far away. Like, you're pretty much at full health and miles behind the back line quite often. It makes salve much harder to use. It also means that Pursuit by Grace isn't actually really doing very much. You probably just take Renew and have the faster Qs if you're going to play like that. Which I think is a bad way to play, to be honest, but probably would make a bit more sense. You want to get heals out on that... Oh, never mind. Yeah, D.Va. Yeah, you need to heal the D.Va. She's really low on life. I don't know why we're not healing D.Va here. Doesn't make any sense to me. You've got almost full mana. D.Va's half life, and we're not healing her? It's a bit weird. It just means that she won't be able to do much with the mech. Did D.Va have to tap well? 16 if we can. I mean, enemy team's gonna have 16 as well. You guys will have a brief window here. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Okay, I think Inner Focus is obviously really good, and it's very good with the level 1 talent that increases the cooldown, gives it more value. We got Merc Queen with that. It's a good W. That's a good route. I'd be looking for a... Yeah, right there, that would be looking for the salve. Salve to counter her cage is really nice. The salve is okay. You really don't like D.Va, man. No heals for D.Va. You had like the renewed Q, good to go. And you're like, D.Va, no heals for you. No way. I don't like you. It's a good heal there on her. Alright, we're inside the mech, which is fine. Alright, cool. Good mech damage. Great. Alright, cool. Smashing some towers. It's a bummer not to get a fort out of this. I would probably be, if I was the mech driver, probably be more looking for that than he is. Like, not get a fort. It's just nice to have the catapults at this point, you know? It's nice to have the catapults. Alright, cool. Your mech driver could have looked for a good W there, knock him back. Oh well. You just want to do as much damage as you can, so it'll be fine. Maiev trying to pull back the Punisher doesn't work. Almost dies herself. Interesting that the targeting thing doesn't show properly. It's kind of funny, actually. D.Va can drop a bomb. She should be fine. She's got a big old shield. Just make sure D.Va won't die here without her bomb. No, she's fine. Again, right here, your positioning is too defensive. too defensive on your positioning. You can be more aggressive. You can be more aggressive. Like, bear in mind is Anduin. Anduin has a lot more self-healing than a lot of the other healers. Your W always heals you. Your Q with this will always heal you, or any of your level 7 talents, give you a good chunk of survivability. And Holy Word Salvation always heals you as well. So, you're pretty safe in that respect. Yeah. I think maybe could have got there. Maybe. And precast Salvation. You'd have to have moved a lot earlier. There was nothing you could really do in that situation. Yeah, well, not quite close enough. Yeah. It's just a bit unlucky. We won't worry about it too much. I think definitely taking that camp. Yep, that's right. Take that camp is for sure really good. You actually got good pushes in mid and in top lane. You could also just push down structures. All these are pretty good. Yeah, I would really recommend attack move and just quick cast. So you just right click to move and then you just press A to attack move, quick cast. I'd really recommend that for basically every hero. I can imagine right clicking every single individual thing to attack would be, that's very tiring. And it's just, that's a lot of mouse movement. It's not good for your wrist, and number two, it's also probably pretty easy to make a mistake. Yeah, you guys are well set up for the next objective. It's a bit of a bummer we haven't smashed more structures. But I will. Okay. Still in a good spot overall. Wave clearing's fine. Your positioning here is good, just ready to cover your team. Okay, we're fine. Probably leap her out of there. Yeah, I'd be leaping her faster than that. She was out of position sooner than that. Muradin is just fine. Good heals. Again, you're too defensive here in your positioning. You can be further forwards. You could be a lot further forwards there. Another thing to bear in mind is your W won't actually do anything if you don't hit enemy heroes. So you need to be a bit closer to them to actually hit that. I'd be looking to help my teammates there. I know it's D.Va. We don't like to... Oh, we healed her. Okay, we healed D.Va. Beak. Beak place. Oh, so many D.Va heals. So many D.Va heals. Oh, we could have killed the Maiev. The W would have killed her with Moral Compass. Ah, oh, unlucky. Unlucky. But yeah. That's just, like I said, I mean, that's just the big thing for this one. It's just the... You can be further forward as the Anduin. Like, you don't need to be that scared. Especially against their team. Like, they don't have any burst damage, right? There's nothing that's gonna be like, oh shit, I overstepped and they blew me up. Like, right here, you're getting focused. You can just pop your thing, though. And you see, you're totally good. Totally good, dude. Healing Jaina is nice. She's full health. In that situation, I think mounting up and running left side would be better, but it's okay. Just go aggro, look for the follow-up routes. Okay. Oh, there's a fly in my coffee. Okay, we're gonna get new coffee after this. There's a fly in my coffee. God damn it. It's an interesting one right here. With Johanna being dead, it might even... Anna Sylvanas, in fact. It's probably better to force down the keep. But obviously taking this is fine. Enemy team will have 20. They'll be able to fight you on this objective with 20, probably. It's gonna be close. You might get it. They'll probably be able to defend. I don't see 20 versus 20 being able to finish with a one protector. It's not that good. And they still have all their keeps. That's why this is a long game. If I turn this off so you guys can see. I'm just curious, could Johanna have made it here on time? Yeah, she could have. They could have fought like 99% overtime lock. They took the camp though, which is okay. I think they could have tried to fight for it. Given that you guys have a turret and a healing thing, though, it's probably not necessary. I shouldn't get in. Yeah. I mean, I think D.Va getting in makes the most sense, and then she can just hop out, drop the bomb. I think Anduin not being in is a bad idea because of this. Good to drop out and drop that. I'd be casting your spells. Look at that. Okay. Like, if I pause it right there, like, I think you tried to cast this and got interrupted, was it? I'm not sure, but we just ran around an awful lot. Never cast a W, never cast a flash shield. Like, jumping out is really good. We threw down the turret, which is really good, but, like, throw out your W at least. Get it going. Get it rolling. You can root her, yeah? I'll make it love. Run, Anduin, run!
I will return stronger.
Again, right there, you could hit her with your spells and you'd be fine. Alright, keep down. Keep down. Yeah, like when you had full health, she wasn't able to one-shot you. It was better to... Divine Star will heal you when it comes back. And you could hit her with that root as well. And you could Q yourself too. I think you would have been fine. Jaina with a blow up. Are we gonna heal her? Aw, poor Jaina, dude.
One of our keeps is gone, so watch for
Rep keep.
catapults in that lane.
You could have saved her, man. Aw, poor Jaina. We went to support her, but then you forgot to actually heal her. She died. She died.
Our core is under attack.
I think Jaina was fine to go in. Like, level 20 Jaina is fucking disgusting. Oh, oh, oh. We've got the ellipses. We got the ellipses. Never be the ellipses person, guys. Never be ellipses person. I don't like to use the term, you know, alpha and beta males, but, you know, I think it's appropriate. You know, pretty much the most beta thing you can do is drop a bunch of ellipses. Okay, at this point the game is actually pretty much dead even. Both teams are over 20. Both teams missing one keep. It's pretty even. So now it's down to like the team fighting. Yo, Uter, what's up, dude? What's up, dude? I'm gonna stream the raid later tonight, by the way. We're gonna try get orange parses on all of them. Stop, ATL, stop with the ellipse. Oh my god, I hate you. Ultimate troll. This is really nice for you guys. Okay, good. I'd be looking for that salve. That's a good salve. That's a good salve. Get that heal onto Jaina. Big priority. Good. Throw out your W. Alright, cool. Good spread, good spread. Now get chasing. That's where you mount up, dude. That's where you mount up. That's where you want to mount up to get into that fight faster. When you zone that far out, splitting the orb, which was a good job. Ending is definitely what you want to do. And you can heal the D.Va. There we go. There we go. Throw a heal on Murden as well. Oh, look for that root, guy. Look for that root. Maiev dies nonetheless. The D.Va bomb. She chose the talent for this moment. She knew it was going to come down to the 24-minute zone them off while you're going core. She knew. She psychically predicted it. She'll be fine. She's fine. And cool, the core goes down. Alright, nice. Nice, nice. Yeah, alright, cool. So looking at that game, yeah. Didn't die, which is definitely nice. Yeah, so a couple of, yeah. I think I said it like several times over several of the team fights. You know, I think just a bit under aggressive as the Anduin. Just too scared to position forward. You've got a lot more opportunity to be positioned further forwards in the fight, to get a lot more damage out in the fight, and to be just in a better position for the salvations, and to be in a better position for the Divine Star. Yeah, I felt like there was definitely a few of those fights where we were definitely holding on to our spells for a lot too long instead of getting them out when they're going to get value. It's like, you obviously don't want to just throw out your spells when they're not going to get value. But if you're getting value off the spells, like good value, then there's no reason not to use them. And not using them is losing value, which is not so good. So yeah, I'd say be looking at some of those things. Yeah, don't take Binding Heal if you take the longer Q cooldown at 1. It's not good. But Moral Compass is very good with Bolt Strategy. That's a good synergy. But then switch it up for one of the other things. I know that the thing was titled Lion Speed, like 20% move speed at all time with the leap, which it's fine. It's probably not worth using without double charges at 20. To be honest, it doesn't really matter because you should just take movement speed from doing damage, right? The movement speed for doing damage is super good, and it's really easy to stack up, especially with Moral Compass. It's just like 1 W and like your full stacks of movement speed, and then your basic attacks keep it going, right? But yeah. Oh, you guys talk about Overwatch. I was trying to work out what you guys were even talking about. Yeah, so that's basically it. I thought it was fine. Like, again, just look for some of that more aggression. Oh, and the other big thing was with your chastise, again, be looking to punish enemy mispositions. So in particular, the Maiev was going really ham this game, and you could really look to lock her down and punish her. There's a few times where the Cassia was far out and looking to punish her. Like, even for example, right there, rooting her, and I think rooting the Cassia would have made more sense to zone her out of your team while your team is rushing core. But nonetheless, yeah, look for a bit of that. And there you go, guys. That was I hope you guys enjoyed. That was a coaching stream here for Heroes of the Storm. I hope you had fun. We're gonna switch over and play some Age of Empires now. And like I said, do like the video if you liked it, give feedback, let me know any thoughts and comments, or if you have any tips that you want to share on those heroes that you feel like might help with these guys as well, feel free to throw those out too. I'll see you all next time.